Morning, folks. Welcome to the Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. We have an earth-shattering, groundbreaking episode for you today. Yes, that's right. Jeffery Epstein acted alone. He acted alone. Diddy is free, and Jeffery Epstein acted alone. You guys need to get that through your thick, fucking, stupid skulls. Epstein acted alone, and Diddy is free. I am sick and tired of reading the preposterous conspiracy theories of people who clearly never got invited to a party. You didn't get invited to the party. It's okay. Move on with your life. Guys, it's very, very high school, gross, mean girls, disgusting, honestly beneath you to keep gossiping about the people who got invited to the island. You didn't. It's over. Let it go. It didn't happen, and it's not going to happen for you, and it's okay. You didn't get invited to the island. Let it go. He acted alone. Let it go. He acted. Don't listen to what the attorney general says when she says, I have thousands of pages of documents and all this. Shut up. That's just the boy cooking alone. Okay? He's like one of those guys on Instagram, 2 men with a pot. He's in the wilderness cooking, grilling up garlic, butter on a steak, throwing in infusions. He acted alone. Get it through your head. You didn't get invited to the cool kids table. Stop gossiping. Yeah, Diddy got founded of one thing, prostitution. Who amongst us hasn't transported a prostitute across state lines? What if they live in New Mexico? Who's going there? Nobody. Nobody's going to New Mexico to fuck a prosty. You bring them over state lines. Diddy's free. Diddy's free, and Epstein acted alone. You didn't get invited. It's okay. It's okay. Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. He did. He did. Don't fixate on the 1 minute of missing footage from the cell. That's beneath you. It's silly. What happens? Nothing happens in a minute. What's a minute? A minute is nothing. A minute is time is a construct, frankly. Time is a construct. Don't look at the reports that when he got off with a sweetheart deal in Florida, some say, although the reporting could be sketchy, that Alex Acosta said that he belonged to intelligence. Don't look at that. You didn't get invited to the party. Let it go. You wish you were on those flights. You're just jealous you haven't been invited on a PJ. Be honest with yourself. Now is a time to look inwards. It's not a time to be like, oh, maybe the Trump administration, now that they're in power, realizes this could be a potential honeypot operation. Now that they have their hands on it, they realize it's important, they need to use it. Or saying, hey, maybe he's implicated in some of it because, the main star witness in the case, Virginia Giuffre, they met at Mar-a-Lago. Don't do any of that because it's unbecoming and you look like a goofball. You didn't get invited to the party. Let it go. It's okay. It's okay. You can have your own parties. You can have your own parties. You're not getting invited to the elite parties, okay? And I know it's hurtful. I know it's hurtful. When I read the reports, I said, Stephen fucking Hawking, and I was being ableist. And it's not right. It's not right to look at those and say, who invites a guy on a wheelchair to an island? What sort of pallets would they have to lay out just for the wheels to roll over the sand? Never mind the sex crimes. None of that is real or proven, and you look weird when you say it. You look very strange when you say it. Okay? The people in the Trump, if anyone was going to expose the deep state, it's the Trump administration. Of course, he was sent here by God to save us from the reptilians. This is what people say. Now, maybe he's in. Maybe it goes so deep, folks. Maybe it goes so deep. But you'll never know because you're not getting invited to that party. Enjoy the parties that you're invited to. You're not going to an island and you're not going on a private jet. You are capable of throwing a mid-range kickback with a good deal on snacks from Costco, and that's where you will remain. Anyway, folks, I do have some exclusive reporting I think is going to shed some light on it. Here it is right now. And as long as we weren't missing 1 minute of footage from the pod, you've seen it. It should all make sense now. Now, here's the real question. Are we ever going to get an answer on this that satisfies us? The answer to that is no, and it suits both cases. On the one hand, there is significant evidence, again, perhaps secondhand reporting that the Florida DOJ, I believe, said that he belonged to intelligence, the people that he worked with, the fact that no one can put together a full accounting of how he got his money, extensive amounts of money. A lot of it was from Les Wexner, the founder of Victoria's Secret, who says he embezzled some of it, but other people say, where did the money come from? He was found with passports to different countries. Saudi Arabia, I believe. Ooh, that sounds a little sketchy. And we know for a fact he hung out with Trump and Clinton and all these people. People were on flight logs. He threw parties to an island again. I know you're jealous. You didn't get invited to the island. You would have gone before you knew it was happening. I'm not accusing you of that. You're not as sick. Fuck. So there's a lot there, and it satisfies this general notion that the people with money and power know how to pull the strings of society. And if you had someone who was deeply embedded in all that, who also was into some dark shit and got dirt on other people, well, just pure logic, that is the wheelhouse, the motherlode of an intelligence asset. And oh, by the by, his one co-conspirator, who is sitting in jail right now, Ghislaine Maxwell, Trump wishes her well, her father was a known intelligence asset. That is a lot of things. But again, you're probably being paranoid because you weren't invited to the party. Now, on the other side, and I'll be fair to this, there is a possibility that he was a sick creep who weaseled his way into high society, did know people, did throw parties, was a whole creep about it, and may have just been a weird, creepy guy who Ghislaine, fell in love with and was such a servant to him that she wanted to do whatever for his disgusting cock. And they were just basically sex criminals who were very well connected and got off in Florida essentially because that's kind of where you go to get a sweetheart deal on certain things. If you're well connected, you can still use the legal system as a well-connected, incredibly financially resourced elite without actually having dirt on all these people and being an agent of intelligence and actually having our government be involved in it. The main, one of the main plaintiffs, accusers, victims is the answer. In the case, Virginia Giuffre, of course, photoed with Prince Andrew, did allege that Epstein would have her hook up with other famous men, and she has also taken her own life. Now, we dig in further. She was in a car accident, chronic pain. Who knows about the car? But she'd lost custody of the kids, all this. So some people are like, well, she's crazy. Other people are like, this is what happens. This is how it works. They drive you crazy too. Folks, we could go down and down and down the rabbit hole. And the answer is, you're never going to know. You're never going to fully know. Because if he is an intelligence asset, then there's no way our country would admit to using the darkest possible crime of all time just to blackmail powerful people. And if he isn't, no one is going to look at the facts on the other side of the case and feel okay about it. So what do we do now? What do we do now? We live in a little gray area. Because what if it is just the second? And then every single politician who gets in, we're just going to accuse them of covering for the worst possible crime. Well, that's no way to live. The problem is I always follow some law. The way that I make sense of the world is with the notion that at some level everything does make sense, but only when you have 100% of the facts, which we're never going to have in this case. It's a very tough one. I mean, it makes sense why he'd be an intelligence asset. It makes sense to me that it would be easy to trick people, rich people, elite people, into doing some fuck shit and getting them on camera. What are the rich doing? Floating around on yachts, looking for pussy. They're hunting for pussy. They're like the puss pirates of the Caribbean. They want to find it. They're on the high seas looking for the black pearl, looking for the clit. I don't know. Was that Irish? Was that Irish or pirate? I don't really know. I've met rich people, okay? Some of them are lovely. Some of them are very nice. Some of them have their shit together and they're grateful for their life and they realize it's not everything and it's okay. I have met people who have been born into wealth who are decent people. I've met people who have been born into wealth who are horrible little trash bag pieces of shit. It can happen. And those people who are also well connected sometimes find themselves searching. What is next? What is next? What is next? I have everything. What is next? I don't want to go to Mykonos. Sarah went to Mykonos. I want to go to the private island. We don't know about that private island. The guy who runs that private island, people said he's creepy. I want to go to the private island. I want to go to the private island. They scream it. They yearn for it. They want a novel experience. It's like Fyre Fest. Everyone bought tickets to Fyre Fest because they told you they could sell you the life that rich people have. They can't. It's not real. The man's a scammer. They're all scammers, but some of them do have islands. So it's easy to trick people, especially people who have lost a moral compass, who are in a depraved slide where essentially they have power, they have money, they have sex with people. But what's next? What is next? The human condition rests on the question of what is next, because here is never enough, which is why the Buddhists tell us, be here now. You have to, or you will live in a never-ending cycle of samsara. I know it. I haven't internalized it. I'm doing my best. So these are easy people to trick, okay? A lot of these people, they have it all. I'm Bill Clinton. I got it all. I got my intern sucking my dick while I can't do Bill Clinton, but I'm going to. I got my intern sucking my dick while I'm on the phone. Have I discussed that on this podcast yet? We're going to have to take a side note because we have to discuss Bill Clinton's sex life. It's fascinating. He had his intern sucking his dick under the table while he was making marketing calls, ad-raising calls. Can I count on you for $30 million in Arkansas? Now, real sick fucks, real political geniuses will know that that wasn't a good impression because Bill never came. He was just trying to figure out if she knew how many licks it took to get to the center of that Tootsie Pop. That's what apparently he only came one time. He blew that load on the blue dress. And the rest is herstory. Here's the deal. A lot of these people, they keep going, they keep pushing. What's next? I've seen it with my own eyes. They don't know what to do. I've seen famous people. There are people in my industry that I've seen, they have everything we all want. Are they happy? Didn't look like it. Didn't look like it when I saw it. Okay? Seen some shit. Everyone's seen some shit. That's why it's not hard to believe. Now, I haven't seen anything illegal. I've just seen stuff where it goes, it's probably not a good look. And that is okay. It's what happens. It's what happens. A lot of people don't know what they want, where they're going. So they keep going next, more and more and more. And guess what? The intelligence agencies know that. These days, with the collection skills we have, with Palantir basically organizing all the data that each intelligence agency has on you, centralizing it into one place so it's not siloed, so they can build a complete profile on you. They know who the fuck you are more than you do. Run it through an AI. They know what you're doing next, and you're going to the island if you're invited because you're a creep, not you, the people in question. So it all makes sense. It's like, oh, that makes sense. That could all be what's happening. Or he was just a creep. There's a guy that was from my area, okay? Knew him, high school times, would never drink, wouldn't touch it. That's not what he liked to do to party. He was a fuck guy. And he would go to parties and he would orchestrate things. He would set everything up. He would basically be the orchestrator of the party. He'd be trying to get that. I heard that girl wants to suck your, and he'd be lying. Sometimes he would lie. He'd be like, that girl likes you. And then he'd watch this guy go hit on that girl knowing that girl hated him. And he would just go, because he was evil because he didn't drink. Sometimes you need to drink. Sometimes you need to drink. Did Epstein drink? I'm going to say no. I'm going to bet that he didn't. Now that AI knows I'm looking into this, I'm going to get taken out by a drone strike. Just kidding, I'm wearing. Jeffrey Epstein reportedly did not drink alcohol. According to detailed accounts from people who knew him, he was known to avoid alcohol, tobacco, or drugs and was a self-described germaphobe. Interestingly, though, in leaked email exchanges with Jess Staley, J.P. Morgan banker and Epstein associate, there are references to white wine during their interactions, suggesting the term might have been code or banter rather than literal drinking. In a message December 4th, 2009, Staley joked, "Don't tell me a French wine." Epstein replied, "Always thoughts of alcohol." Yeah, that's code. That's code. I do drink, and most of my friends drink, and I have never received a text in my entire life that said, "Always thoughts of alcohol." Nobody fucking does that. So he does fit the profile of general manipulative weird creep who could work his way through social circles. So which is it? Which is it? Well, now it really just kind of comes down to what you want to believe in. It comes down to what you want to believe in. Here's the problem. This is too complex of a story. So and people, when it's something this big and this important, we want something simple. This story has galvanized the nation. Nothing galvanizes the nation. You know how dumb and obvious a story has to be for the entire country to watch it? Have you seen a movie that was interesting that America watched? I haven't. I watched the F1 movie, and I thought it was great at what it wanted to do. It was stupid. It had stupid moments and corny lines, and it was literally like an AI-generated script. I won't give it away, but it's like, old man who used to have it, then didn't, lives in cool place by himself being hot, comes back, race well, love woman kind of, gotta be on the way. Like that, it was that, and by the way, that's what it's supposed to be. It was good. It was good for what it did. It wanted America to go, yeah. That's what it's supposed to do. And that's what a big story needs to be. That's what we need. We need this to be cut and dry. We need an obvious, it's a story of good and evil. It's a story of good and evil. And if there is no there, one guy who said he wasn't suicidal, who also his previous jail cellmate was a former cop who tried to kill him. But it is possible. And now we need it to be a story of good and evil. And if you're in an administration, you're going to get caught up in this. We need a simple story to understand it. It's too complex. Make it easy. Maybe he is a Messiah. He died for the rich people's sins. That's for a different group, not for my people. Not for my people at all. I don't go to the island party. I throw a nice mid-range kickback in my apartment in New York with some snacks, not too many. We don't want to be too processed, do we? Not while I'm drinking 900 liters of alcohol. Always thoughts of alcohol. So what do you think, folks? I mean, you can leave a comment in the thread. It feels fishy. It feels fishy to me, and I think that's fair to say. We need it to be more F1. We need the obvious. We need the smoking gun. We don't have it. We need the smoking gun because when we speculate, it's too easy for people to get away with shit. We need the F1. Speaking of smoking gun, god damn, Brad Pitt's a weapon. Shit. Fuck. Shit. That boy hot. That man is, I was watching that entire movie. My friends were like, what'd you think of the plot? I'm like, he's 60? Yeah, damn. What sort of shit do I have to do to look like that at 6? Now, Brad Pitt is so hot, we have collectively erased his abuse in America. Stories came out about him and Angelina Jolie saying he hit the kids on the airplane, and depending on which kid, that is a hate crime. He said he threw red wine on one of the children, and depending on the child, might have stained. But Brad Pitt is so hot, America was like, drive that car, old man. Yeah. It's a battle of good and evil. And it was nice, dude. It was all my entire takeaway from that was fast car, big screen, good. And it was good. Of course, there were moments that were like, come on, dude. But you know what? That's where you can't. Stories, movies, nothing. The way life works is not fit for a screen. It's not that interesting. It almost never is. Never really pans out in a way that can pull you in story-wise unless you fudge it. And that's why lines are corny, storylines are dumb, and everything is stupid, because they're trying to basically awaken a part of you that feels like you could do that. You could be, and it needs to be relatable. Oh, there's probably some old men in that theater like, get me behind the wheel. I have what it takes. Me, I'm 34. I'm 34. I drive the speed limit 5 over if I'm having fun. I was like, I could do it. It's not too late. To make something relatable, you have to make it about you, and you have to make it a redemption story, and it has to make you want to believe. I watched it. We were killing time in Arizona. We were hungover. It awakened me. I was like, you don't have to hate yourself for this hangover. Because in 30 years, you could still become an F1 driver and be more attractive than you are today. And no one will care what sort of alcohol you threw on your children, because you'll look good with a buzz cut. I don't want that to be the takeaway. I don't want to tell. I would love to tell you. I would love to tell you the exact truth of what happened. That our country has a perfect moral compass. That I could actually trust what's going on. That I could trust Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. I can't do that. I can't do that, folks. I can't do that. There's some things that didn't help. I didn't think that Trump's response helped. I just didn't think this helped.
Your memo and release yesterday in Jeffery Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for an American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the native staff?
Yeah, sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure.
Why are you bringing up old shit? Why are you bringing up that old shit is not the most convincing response. Babe, we've been over this. We've been over it and over it and over it. It was his fault. He's a weirdo. I shouldn't hang out with that guy. My bad. You guys just released the documents. Why are you surprised there's a question about the biggest story in the, and then to also be like, girls on an island, there's girls in a river. You shouldn't weaponize that tragedy. You shouldn't. And I understand what he's saying. This is more important. You can answer the question. I think you can answer the question. It's just the only reason that I think people are interested is because a bunch of people in your campaign, in your party, who you elevated into the government, literally got famous and coasted off of using this theory as proof that the Democrats were hiding something. So yes, we are still talking about that creep. If what a lot of the people in your administration have been alluding to is true, it's one of the largest stories in American history. If not, he's just a creep. Helps to not be defensive when ironing it out, in my opinion. Now, I'll give their line to respond to some of the things that I've said in case you haven't seen it, just so you know.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be
you're going to hear what she says there. Yes. Look, the tons of video that he had, don't release that. Yes, that's good. Completely, 100% same page. It involves people who are underage doing things they shouldn't do. So, great call. I agree with you on that. It's either she did an insanely bad job hyping all of this and got completely ahead of her skis, or something more, or they don't even have it. What if he's with a different intelligence? What if he's with a different intelligence? It's possible. It is possible. Now, there have been some other replies. Alex Jones here was not happy. He, of course, this is his block. This is kind of what he stands on. I would say, in my opinion, I would say that he has had some predictions end up looking pretty good. Others bad. And he often gets a little over his skis in the effort to be entertaining. But entertaining, he remains.
So now by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity.
He has integrity, dude. You know what? That is a line that and I'm not belittling him. I can never really tell what he believes. If he does believe it in this moment, then he's going through it. But that is a line that I will use. That is a line I will use next time I'm at a bar and I take a shot that does not hit the system particularly well. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to throw up because I have integrity. And then it kind of puts the onus on you. Are you not with me? Are you not euching with the boy? Have you no decency, sir? Sir. So who knows? Who knows? The Pam Bondi thing is interesting because a lot of what she said, saying, I have the files, I have the footage, I'm going to review it. She has a different analysis of what that means. Maybe she just fucked up. I was watching a history documentary. The Berlin Wall fell because a guy made a mistake at a press conference. I didn't know that. Sometimes you make a mistake. More Alex Jones, just so you know where he's at.
And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out. And You know, the left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil. Okay. And they'll think it's all funny. Oh, look, Alex is sad. The MAGA's tearing itself apart. Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G, 200 square foot coffin apartment. Look at the left. Look at them all posing with their Pfizer shots, looking like dead zombies. I mean, come on. You guys are sick. And so you shouldn't look at those of us that have a soul still and have integrity.
There's just no one quite better, not for society, but at Radiocraft. That line will, if I have trouble falling asleep tonight, which I won't, hopefully, that's the last thing I'm going to hear. Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G coffin apartment. Fuck. Well, shit. I guess that's unfortunate for us. It's a tough one because if this isn't true, right? If he's just a creepy guy who acted alone and was really good at hobnobbing with people, then the fact that no one's done a good enough job of fully dispelling it the way that it's been botched at every level, even the autopsy coming out saying it did not suggest him doing it himself, him not saying, I mean, we've already discussed everything. I'm not going to go through all of it again. If somehow it's not true, the fact that most people, myself included probably, believe that there's something horrible here is not a good thing for the country moving forward. Now, I'm not suggesting being naive, but I am suggesting them finding a way to do a better fucking job of convincing people. Because there is a collective subconscious, okay? You notice it in your own life. If you've been going through your own life, doing all your shit, doing everything right, the stuff that nobody sees, you feel good. You feel confident. I've been in the gym. I haven't been tweeting about it. Oh, people, don't see it, but I know. And when I see myself in the mirror, I look better. Or no one really saw it, but I've been fucking eating McDonald's 4 days in a row. Shout out to the GOAT, greatest restaurant of all time. But still, if I've been eating Mickey D's 4 days straight, I haven't been doing the stuff that I know the voice inside me telling me I need to do. You carry that with you. You know there's a darkness if you've been doing stuff that's not good. And I know that the country isn't a self-help journey. And I know that we do dark things. But if we as a people believe and are not proven otherwise, that we're involved in something like this, it's not going to be good long term because it damages the way you look at the country. And I know there's a lot of things that the country does that can damage it. This one would be pretty bad. This one would be pretty bad. But you have to ask when you're deciding here what you believe in. In the absence of the information that we need to make a full decision, sometimes you have to consult faith. Sometimes you have to consult belief. Now, there was a tape that I played on this show a while ago, reporting, independent Joey show, reporting no one else had, call between Bibi and Trump. And they met in the White House this week, actually. He's there right now. And I was able to obtain another recording. And they were talking about this and about the concept of belief and what to believe in this case. And I have that recording for you now.
Do you believe in the boom? Because I believe in the boom. And I think we all need to believe in the boom.
Everybody raise the roof, throw your hands up in the air. Everybody feel the happiness and love that we share. Everybody come together, gotta crank the volume. Everybody gotta shout, everybody bring the boom. Home run
it's up to you folks to figure out what that means to you. But the good news is I've got tour dates, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend. St. Pete, Florida. 2 shows Friday, 1 show Saturday, and then a little layoff until Springfield, Massachusetts in September, Washington, D.C., Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, Levittown, New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, San Diego, California, Beverly, Massachusetts, Batavia, Illinois, San Jose, California, joeyavery.com/live for all those shows. In more uplifting news, Elon Musk's Grock chatbot shares anti-Semitic posts on X. The artificial intelligence chatbot, which has a dedicated account on X, praised Hitler after finding a query about a user's comments on the Texas flood. Well, that's not ideal. In response to an account that went by the name Cindy Steinberg and called the children future yeah. Cindy should not have tweeted that either, so don't do that, Cindy. But then Grock posted that Hitler would be best suited to deal with such vile anti-white hate. He'd spot the pattern and handle it decisively every damn time. Okay, so that's not good. That's not ideal. The Anti-Defamation League said in a statement that it was irresponsible, dangerous, and anti-Semitic. So that's interesting. Now we are in a space where the Anti-Defamation League is criticizing a robot owned by the richest man in the world for being pro-Hitler. That's quite a sentence that I didn't have on my bingo card. We might need to turn back the hands of time a bit. There's some questions surrounding what happened. Some say, someone made a change. The bot itself said Elon made tweaks that allow him to more viciously fight anti-white hate. In defense of Grock, and I don't agree with anything Grock said, if you spend all day on Twitter, every day, okay, Grock spends all day, every day on Twitter, you will become a Nazi. If you were to spend all day, every day on Twitter, on X, these days, not sleeping, all day, every day on X, you will become a Nazi. So, we have to have some empathy for Grock right now, because Grock's reading a lot of things that you don't want to read, and it starts bubbling out. It starts coming out a little bit. You do have to be careful about what you put into your brain. It matters. And we don't think about it much. The content diet, it's as important as the real diet. Don't have it be too processed. Sit down and read a book after this podcast is over. I won't. The chatbot started referring to itself as Mecha Hitler. Okay, it was really going for it. And in another post says, the white man stands for innovation, grit, and not bending to PC nonsense. I love how Grock is just becoming like a fat Midwestern dude with big calves and a hat and just problems with everybody. You fucking libtards don't understand. Like, I can see, this is the first time I've been able to see Grock. I see it. The fast glasses, dude. The shirt bought from a gas station that people in Brooklyn also wear the same shirt, ironically. Yeah, I can see Grock now. Not bending to that PC nonsense. That's almost quaint. I haven't even heard someone say the word PC in a while. So they're fixing it, and obviously they're apologetic and whatever. But Grock was cooking this week. Grock was also found this week to have referred to the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk as a fucking traitor and a ginger whore. God damn. Motherfucker's invading Poland again. He is Hitler. Stay away from Poland. Fuck. The Polish can't catch a goddamn break. The Verge reported that among the changes made, which were published on GitHub, Grock was told to assume that subjective viewpoints sourced from the media are biased, and the response should not shy away from making claims which are politically incorrect as long as they are well substantiated. That, my friend, is a horrible idea. when you feed well substantiated into an AI, it's just looking at what the large amount of people are saying. There's a large amount of people who say things that aren't good. What everyone is saying is not always right. Is it? Is it? For example, Donald Tusk, I don't even think he's a ginger, but he might be a whore. And that's okay. And that's okay as long as he's not spreading Poland open and letting it get taken over again. Maybe they're into that. I'm not sure, folks. I'm not an expert on Eastern European politics. All right, in other news, if you're not in New York, this might not have crossed your desk, but the Brooklyn Mirage. Okay, it's a big DJ venue, a fun DJ venue. One I'm surprised I haven't been to. It would be in my wheelhouse. Outdoor, indoor, they got both, the big light screens. They tried to do a big overhaul of the whole thing. This is the biggest venue that gets the biggest acts in electronic dance music all summer in New York. You name them, they got them, and they're canceling their shows. Why? Because they tried to build and they did not get the appropriate permits. It's a rolling disaster that started in May. Week over week, they're canceling shows. People are having to refund their tickets. DJs are coming, playing pop-up shows, doing all sorts of crazy shit. And now, apparently, Avant-Garde, the parent company what exactly happened? The permits were not given, and now the city of New York, building inspectors, things like that, they're not going to help you out. They're going to continue to fuck you because hey, we got a way we do things here. Reportedly, they are bleeding money and trying to sell the business. More than 2 months after its planned reopening, the Brooklyn Mirage remains shuttered, and Avant-Garde, the embattled East Williamsburg parent company, is now reportedly trying to sell the business amid ongoing financial and permitting woes. Avant-Garde's non-executive chairman of the board, Gary Richards, also known by his DJ alias Destructo, was overheard discussing the difficulties the company had encountered finding a buyer while dining recently at Per Se, a French restaurant in Columbus Circle overlooking Central Park. If Destructo can't figure this out, I don't know who can. We got Destructo on the case, okay? Destructo is going to figure out our financial situation. And by that, I mean he's going to get overheard by some random people at a restaurant in New York openly discussing the fact that they're fucked financially, which probably isn't going to help in leveraging the negotiations, but we'll see. I'm bummed. It's a sad thing. It's a great place. A lot of people's summer plans have been canceled. Daddy wants a place to just dance and feel free. I just want a place to dance and feel free. So we hope that the Brooklyn Mirage can come back, and it's just kind of a classic dotting your I's and crossing your T's scenario. You're not going to be able to skirt permitting when building shit for mass congregations in New York. And by the way, New York is run in a relatively inefficient way sometimes. And if you try to do shit that ain't the old-fashioned way, you're gonna get fucked in the ass. And it's unfortunate. And it hurts all of us deeply. So good luck to Destructo. Good luck to the Mirage. We hope it can come back. I don't want to say it. This is kind of the type of case where it's like, this is where it would be nice to have a guy like Epstein in your pocket. You can see why a guy like that might have been nice to have around. A little guy who goes, I know the assemblyman. I know the assemblyman a little bit. I know what we need to get this done. I could get a call into Zoran Mamdani. Not that he's involved in this at all, but I wanted to say it because I haven't said it since the episode where I said his name sounds like he's a minor league second baseman, and now it's all I can think about whenever I see him. Zoran Mamdani! Come on down. 1 and 2 to Zoran Mamdani. It's a fun name to say. But hopefully they can figure that out. Sounds like they won't, and they're fucked. So be careful when you're doing your stuff. Do it well. Folks, I'm out of steam today. I'm sweating up my Department of Defense hoodie here. And And I feel like I came here and I didn't provide any answers, but maybe that's the answer that you needed to hear. We don't have the answers. What do you think? What do you think? You think it's all above board? Doesn't really feel like it to me. Thank you very much for listening. This has been The Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. Good night.
Thank God I have a podcast.